East China Township Board meeting for October 7th, 2024 to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Westrick.
Here.
Clerk Smith here. Treasurer Guard.
Here.
Trustee Babel.
Here.
Trustee Blackstock.
Here.
Trustee Richley.
Here.
Trustee Nat's absent. We have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the agenda before us, adding C4 through C7 as discussed. I'd entertain a motion to approve it as amended, please.
One thing that, could I pull off C2 for discussion? And other than that, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
You want C2 removed?
And just add it to new business 6, I guess. Yeah.
So it's the amended motion to add C4 through C7, remove C2. To move it to new business 6. Okay, that's the motion. Is there a support?
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. You just had to screw my thing up again, didn't you? All right. Minutes, same thing. Everybody get a chance to look them over? So, entertain motion to approve.
So moved.
Support? You?
Babel.
Deb? Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Presentations, guest speakers, St. Clair County Sheriff, quarterly report. Good evening.
Good evening. How's everyone tonight?
Good.
Good. I'll formally introduce myself. I see a lot of new faces I haven't seen in a while. This is Jim Spadafor. I'm the undersheriff here in St. Clair County. And this is the quarterly report for the Sheriff's Department East China Township car. In the packet, they have a list of activity reports and some statistics of different crimes and stuff that were there. I don't see anything specific about the numbers. I do want to check on one thing. I didn't have a chance to get to it today because I was out of the office most of the day. Was the traffic stop count? It kind of seemed low at 19. And all the other quarters, they were, well, the first one was lower, that's winter time, but the middle one was higher. A couple summer months should have been higher, 19. I'm assuming it's probably a tracking issue rather than a stop issue, more than likely. So I will check into that, and I'll report back and let you know if that's the official number or we're just tracking a little different.
Traffic stops, you mean, or up?
Yeah, they're down.
They're down?
Yeah, and they should be not that significantly down. They should
No,
be. So
no.
I'm thinking it's a traffic issue, or just the way we're tracking it could be an issue with that.
Or just have law-abiding citizens in this town.
It could be
That's all
too.
there
It could
is.
be too. The deputies now switched hours because school is in, so they're here a lot more earlier in the morning for bus routes and traffic and stuff of that nature. We had a deputy changeover in the East China car that was due to an injury, and so we replaced that individual, but we have to also abide by the new person's vacation time and all that stuff. So you've probably seen a transition of different deputies coming through here probably in the last couple months, and you probably will to the end of the year. We start our shift bid probably next week for this position, so every deputy will have a chance to bid on where they want to go. We have some promotions coming up by the end of the year, so everything is in flux because it depends where a person with higher seniority goes and a different person goes. So it's going to be all over the map this year. But by the end of the year, we'll know who's either going to stay or who will be the replacements here in the
Until January.
It starts in January.
And then until the end of January.
Yes, yes, that's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping.
They change quick.
Again, if you have any questions about deputies checking in or stopping, I hope they are. If they're not, please let me know. I'll make sure they do so. We'll probably have some supervisors checking in. We're really looking to shore up our relationships with our contracted townships and kind of get a little closer bond and a little more feel of what you guys need and what we can provide also. So look forward to that. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll start solidifying some stuff like that.
Okay.
Good.
Any questions, anyone? Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Night. Take care.
Have a good night. Okay, public comment. There's a time limit of 3 minutes per person. Come to the podium to speak if you will. And that is more the people that aren't here for the public hearing for the special assessment district. Well, that'll be under a separate spot. So, okay.
Does anyone want to address the board regarding anything not on the agenda?
And anything that's not related to the special assessment district public hearing. Is there anyone who wants to talk regarding that? Anything else? Are you here for the River Road water main
Yes.
Okay, that's a separate, we'll have a time for that, okay, in a minute.
Okay.
Yep, yep. If everybody else is here just to speak at the public hearing for the water main, if not, now's your time to speak for the public comment, okay? All right, seeing none, moving on, consent agenda, C1 through C7 excluding C2. Motion to approve, please.
I'll
So-
make a
So moved.
motion to
Sorry.
accept consent agenda as presented, minus NB or C2.
All right,
Support.
Ms. Hart, support. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Disbursements, Ms. Hart.
For disbursements, we have payroll in the amount of $89,601.08. Accounts payable, $372,372.92. EFTs, $81,403.03. E-checks, $604.60. Tax disbursements, $2,846,995.87. We have a voided check in the amount of $4,380.11, and invoices totaling $87,629.72, for a grand total of $3,474,226.11. I'll make a motion to pay the bills in that amount.
I support.
Okay, moved and supported. Clerk, please call the roll.
All in favor? Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Okay, now we're at new business 1, special assessment district public hearing. We'll give a brief synopsis here of what we have, and then people wishing to address, at the meeting, go to the podium, please. We got the final engineering done. I think we altered a little bit by running water services directly into the homes instead of leaving new curb stops and trying to let you hook up to the existing water lines, because they're in driveways. You'd have to break driveways up to get to those. So we're just going to abandon those in place and run those services directly into the home and hook them up. It is directional board as per bid right now, and the tapping sleeve valve in that well was requested, so that drove the price up a little bit. Roughly, the figures came in on the bid alone at $210,000. And then you add your engineering, your inspection, all your other miscellaneous things, contingencies. It brought the project about $330,000, $340,000, I think, Jamie, was the number. But at the last meeting, we discussed this and tried to set the special assessment rule. And for figures of the people being special assessed, we're leaving at the $150,000. Township's going to pay the other $120,000 out of our capital improvement fund for the water main. So the special assessment would still be only what we originally estimated the job at. Came in a lot more. We added a lot of things too, but after a long discussion, the board felt that they would be okay picking up to $120,000 out of our capital improvement fund, leaving the special assessment district roughly $150,000 and $260,000, something like that. But anyway, about $25,000 a residence. And that would be split over 10 years at non-interest. Yeah, 152,026 or whatever. The special assessment actually is 25,000 and change.
It's right here.
Yep, I don't know if I'm back here, yeah. And it's spread evenly over all 6 parcels. $25,337.67. Divide that by 10, because it'd be that payment each year, $25.33. So that's kind of an overview of where we're at with all of it. BJ, got anything to add or not really?
Who is this?
No, I think we're you're spot on with the numbers.
Go to the podium.
I could say that, we had 3 other bidders come in, and the winning bid is substantially low, compared to them. A lot of costs have increased due to materials, supply and demand. Plus, we've got a record of increased incomes. So, costs have gone up since that original estimate was made.
And for the record, that's William Meldrum. He's from PCE Incorporated, the engineering firm, and has a set of plans to be referred to. Jamie, our assessor, is here, Jamie Barra, and then Dwayne, our new DPS, Department of Public Services Director, is here as well. Been working intimately with the project as well. So with that, if there's nothing really to add, I'll open it up to comments, questions, and stuff like that, and we'll go from there and try to answer everybody's questions, and hopefully that'll take care of it. Anybody have a comment, question?
Okay, please.
Yep.
State your name and address, please.
Get the mic kind of close to your mouth, and he'll appreciate it in the room over there. Yeah, just pull it down.
Can you see me?
Yeah, there you go.
My name's Phyllis Langdon. I'm at 4045 River Road. I guess my number one thing is if this was against your code of ordinances way back when, how did it get approved that the water got set up the way it is? How was it allowed to
There's a lot of
happen?
things that got approved back in the day that shouldn't be.
But now,
I don't have an answer for
we
that.
have to pay for those problems?
Yeah, whoever owns the house at the time, unfortunately, yes. Again, we're picking up almost half that cost as a township for you, so that's.
Okay, and I have two diagrams that I've gotten from the township over the course of this. One,
Final plans are there, and if you guys want, you want to take a few minutes to look at those first if your questions are pertinent to that. I don't think it changed a lot as far as where it's at, right? Okay.
It's not. I have on the sheet here, I have the easements highlighted and the water service and water main locations highlighted for you. So it's a real brief look. If you want to take a look at where the final resting place has been decided to be, you can take that opportunity to come and look at it now.
okay. I guess while they're doing that,
Right.
if I was to sell my property within the next few years, how does that assessment work? Does it transfer to the new owner what's not paid off?
It could transfer to the known owner if they agree, I believe. That's an assessor question, but I think you have to pay it off when you sell the house. It's part of your tax roll.
Okay,
That's usually what they do, the cleanest, and they do that for drain assessments too, and I have lots of those. so.
okay, now I want to look at where that line goes.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's where the sewer is. So the green is the existing. Is it okay if I can speak up so everybody can hear me on this?
Sure.
They're asking questions over here, just answer them one time, I guess.
You can use Cindy's
So the
microphone,
green
can't
green
you?
highlighting is the existing sanitary easement. That's already recorded on your properties. Okay. So the green highlighted area is an existing sanitary, all of your sewer waste goes into this main as it runs down. That's that green line that's out here. The blue dashed lines, that is the proposed new easement for the water main. So we can't put
Right here, this one?
from the blue dash marks, this width right here, that's the new easement area.
And that's in our yards, that's
Yep,
not-
that's
okay.
right next to this, that's,
Because I have a diagram that puts it over here.
Yeah, I do too.
that's really old. So this is wetland area, and we cannot build, we can't put this water main in that close to the wetlands. They wouldn't let us do it. So, we propose to bring it up in here, put the easement up in here, and, try to include as much of the easement that's existing, the sanitary easement. We tried to only take up what we needed beyond, so actually you'll have an area where the water and the sewer easements are in the same piece. And in order to install this close to the sanitary, we have to stay 10 feet away from each other. So that's why we needed this little extra piece right here to comply with the Eagle requirements of the 10-foot rule. We have to be 10 foot away from the two mains, have to be separated by 10 feet.
So how far is it from our private drive to this new line that's gonna go in?
I would have to have, I don't have a scale, so I don't know how, from your property line to the water main?
This is our private road.
Mhm.
And here's your proposed,
Yep.
what you're proposing. How
This-
There's already
this-
an existing
it's-
sanitary sewer easement there.
Yeah, this is a,
Okay, but how far is that, this new line?
I've got it on here. The line, the new easement's only like 10 or 12 feet.
Additional.
Proposed 12-foot wide easement for water main. So between these two lines is 12 feet. So this area is
And you
not,
can see the
this
garage
area is
is
not
sketched on
being
there,
claimed
too.
as easement. None of this. It's just this, between these two lines. And it's 12 feet wide. This one's currently 20 feet. So we're taking approximately 5 feet of that one, adding it to this to try and keep these two mains as close together to only have easement as small of an area as we possibly could.
I have two. This is a very large tree, and this tree isn't exactly.
We're directional drilling this, so that's a process that we'll drill underneath everything, so that we're not tearing up ways, sidewalks, landscaping. Don't mistake that for no digging in the property, because at every one of these locations, we're gonna have to dig that main up, attach it, and run you a brand new line all the way up to the footing of your house.
And you'll be paying for that line?
Yep,
to our
we're paying
house?
for all that too. Yep, and the connection, new shut-off valves, which will all be symmetrically across your properties, so that we don't have them scattered all over the place, right?
Yeah, we'll have to
That
coordinate with the
typically
homeowners
happens.
about getting in to plumber hook them up for you.
And then for fire suppression purposes, we're installing 2 hydrants here and here, plus a new one in a different project's going right here. So we're putting a new hydrant right there.
It's right in the road, isn't it?
No, this line right here is the pavement,
Okay.
and we have to be 8 feet, we have to be 8 feet off the edge of that
So
pavement.
did you look at not putting 2 of them in and just having one?
The
same
the rule is for fire protection safety, you have to have a hydrant every 500 feet.
Okay,
There's a
I'm
hydrant right around here.
from out here at that hydrant, I'm 500 feet.
Yeah, from here to here is 500 feet roughly. We actually had this proposed in your property, and I didn't want it there. I moved it out to here on purpose, to get it out of your front yard, you know? So we put it here because you have to have one at 500 feet. If we would have only had one here and one here, we would have been breaking the Eagle rule of having them every 500 feet.
Yeah, and again, we're picking up everything over the cost of the 152.
You-
And we have to have one at the end of the line to flush the line regularly, keep the water fresh. That's something the DPW department's
Oh,
gonna have
yeah,
to do
but
from
you
now
could
on.
put a 2-inch at the end of the line and come up and.
They're gonna have to
just
flush
use
it
that
somewhere.
for a drain.
Right.
Did you contact these people and see if they were gonna pay or no?
That's all unbuildable anyways, so
What?
the wetlands here makes it unbuildable. They wouldn't be able to access use of this main anyways. They would have to go out to here. If they were able to build out here,
They're
they'd
benefiting
have
from
to
these
do that.
hydrants, right?
Yeah, Enbridge, when they were out there working on water receiver, I passed the message along, and then I never heard anything. You're not going to. They have bigger
Well,
problems.
you're
underneath
making
them.
us, you could
They have-
make them pay, you're making us pay.
Yeah,
You
this
could
is-
say it's required.
Yeah, it's not on their property, so they got bigger problems up by the Mackinac Bridge to worry about.
Well, we're not worried about that, we're worried about our property.
Again, we're picking up the cost over the 152.
I know you keep saying that, but it's still 25,000 for everybody.
And
Yeah.
my husband just died, so I don't have that extra income
Yeah.
anymore, so this
We're
hurts.
we're all right back there.
I understand. That's why we're trying to spread this out without interest to pick up anything over what we originally said it was going to be. And
This looks like it is, this right here, this is ours, right, Don?
Yeah.
Right, all the way to here? That I have a lot of trees right there and a landscape that I've been working on for years.
yeah,
don't want that
I
touched.
think this is where you're talking about. These are the trees you're talking about. The shrubbery and the trees are all designed here. We're past that.
Probably right there.
So I would
Yeah,
really
and
like you
some
to come out to
landscaping,
our house
too.
and really tell us where this is gonna be. It's so hard on this map.
I can, what I can do is set up, propose to set up, to have it come and pre-stake it, just to give an idea, you know, where these things are gonna line up.
it'll have,
I can do a proposed,
you guys did it twice, total.
yeah.
This is the drawing I had, shows it out here.
I know,
Oh, yeah,
ours
so,
too.
yeah. But we can get them.
Yeah, your landscaping is all up in here. The water main's in clear green, right here, you're in the lawn, where the 90's gonna be.
So now you're limited, we always thought of adding on to our garage out there, so now it might be interfering with another adding
Well,
on
you already
to our
have,
garage.
we're adjacent to and combining with the sanitary, you still wouldn't
Your
have been able
garage
to build
is
it.
just way over here.
There's already an easement there, and that's why I chose that
You
spot.
can do it down here.
That's why I would really like you to come out and show us
And I have, this is
this
cement.
in,
Do they,
in
how
our
are they gonna get to the
properties.
house under that
They-
cement?
They'll directional drill those in too.
Yeah, see, that's gonna go in This is not cement with the building, right? It stops right
Yeah,
there.
there's a porch there, a porch.
It's gonna go to where there's landscaping or grass, so they don't have to disrupt it. If they have to take some of the concrete, that'll be a very small amount, just to get in any very small hole to go into the foundation.
And that's all gonna be replaced too. It'll all be present. Any concrete or asphalt, that's another thing, the road that if we have any disturbance in the roadway, we have a detail for that for them to rebuild it. Same thing with the driveways, they're gonna have to have X amount of asphalt. If it came out as asphalt, it's gotta go to the new standards and all the concrete. Any landscaping gets damaged, they will replace.
Are you involved with the water main deal that was just being worked on,
Yep.
on Main Road?
Hmm.
And I'm gonna show something on this map when he's done looking at it. There's a corner of our shared driveway out here that they cut off, and they put gravel in it.
That's gonna be,
will be?
that's gonna be paved.
Okay.
That'll be paved back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
it'll be
you're
saw
waiting to
cut
see if
nice
they
and
put
straight,
this
and
in
it'll be
and
paved
then
back.
cover it back up for the winter before they do it.
See, if this project goes, then, that's, the whole thing's gonna get torn up again for where we gotta tie into this new main.
Okay.
So it's all gonna get ripped up again. But they're two different companies, so I'm gonna make the one company DVM, they're gonna have to pave it, and then when we come back along, we're just gonna yank it back out anyways.
So how long, I take it we won't be able to access to our house for some time?
You'll have
Every day?
intermittent, maybe you might have a certain period of time on a certain day, but it's not an everyday thing where you're gonna be interrupted on your flow of traffic. Because we're drilling underground.
So you should be able to access your house.
Yeah, the road will always be accessible and your driveway will always be accessible. There might be a very short period where there will be a piece of equipment there maybe working on your tap that might obstruct you from getting in your driveway, but that will be very intermittent.
You will have a disruption in service from 2 to 4 hours when they finally hook it up to your house. It just depends on them, and they'll let you know that way ahead of time.
So then, after you're going to do this first and then come up through the house?
Yeah,
Or
you
do
gotta put
it
that
all at
service,
once?
you gotta test it, you gotta bacteria test it, pressure test it, the whole 9 yards, put it in service, flush it. Because then when we have it, it's gotta be good water going into your home. So we have to go through all those processes before we.
Bacterial test it, make sure it's
Yeah, the
meets
last thing,
standard.
They may run the lines, but they won't hook anything up until that line's in service.
And I believe these are all 1-inch services too,
Yeah,
right?
no, we don't go any less than 1 inch.
Yeah.
So when you bore, you're putting in what, 10 inch, is that what, 8 inch?
That's an 8-inch line.
8-inch main,
So how big is the bore, how big is the bore? 10
probably
inch?
10 inch. Probably
Yeah, for
10
directional
to
boring, it would be
12.
a 12 to
If you're
14 inch
going right
radius.
underneath that asphalt,
What's that?
if you're going right under that asphalt, you got 10
They
inches.
flute it, and they drill it more than one time to get all that material out, and they flute it and fluting is a process of churning it up and making it really small and very liquid, and then when they pull back, that liquid comes to a relief port, and it'll pour back in the hole, and they'll vector all that out as it's coming out, and then it leaves a tunnel, and because the township's on a lot of clay, that tunnel will hold true until they get that pipe in there. So, and then, there's gonna be some pressure against, as it's drilling the first couple of passes,
Right.
but then once they start fluting it out and dragging that
I'm just
material.
concerned if there's a gap on each side that they could start.
Oh, no, so the gap, the annulus around the outside will be filled with help me with that, the mud, bentonite. It'll be filled with bentonite, and that'll dry up and harden in place, and not fully harden it like a
Right.
stiff clay.
Keeps it,
And it
the
keeps
tunnel
it
from caving
encased,
Right,
So there's no void left.
right, that's what I was worried about.
So how many feet did you say was on the middle of the private road to where you're gonna bore?
I don't know that. I could find that out for you.
Where the sewer
But
line
that's
goes
telephone
across.
poles and where the trees are. all the
it.
nuts.
They've already marked everything and went away from everything that's there. You don't have anything in that 12 feet that's gonna hinder it.
But isn't.
There's some landscaping at the end where that end hydrant is. See where it turns off?
Yep, there. Yeah, right here.
No, that way. Yeah, there. We're gonna shoot underneath them trees and stuff and put the hydrant on the end of it right there.
So you can blow up, you're gonna feed the wetland with water, is what you're gonna do.
Well, we give them the fire department easy access to the hydrant. We can't bury the hydrant too deep into the property.
Yeah. Yeah. this one is a 4029?
That's Cotton's.
No, the next one.
This one?
Yep.
Cotton, yeah, this one here, I noticed that they have a deck there that'll have to be removed and they'll replace it, so put it back together.
Yes.
Or replace it.
Do you have a time frame when all this might start?
It kind of depends on how this goes tonight and also how,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
we get the,
we've already had a bid,
Sign and
so.
notarize, so we can move it forward. That's our first hurdle, once that's done. And we've got a lot of work to do, our attorney's got a lot of work to do. It's been engineered, it's been bid, it's ready to go. And the bid's good for 90 days. We'd like to see that exercise within 90 days or sooner to get the job going, so.
And
So
what did
I-
you say that we talked to about if we sell a property, can we transfer the,
Was I right with
that's a
that?
question.
You can
for
transfer or pay it
It
up?
depends. The township will not subordinate a lien. So a new lender that's going to, a new buyer comes in and they go to their lender, the lender usually wants that to be paid off. But there are cases where the new lender will allow that special assessment to be transferred, and then the new buyer can take on the payments on an annual basis, and it doesn't disrupt the sale. It's going to be unique for every experience, depending on who the title company is, who the lenders are, who the
We're
buyer.
okay with it, but it's the buyer's
Yeah.
mortgage company.
The township will transfer it over to the new name. It'll go, as long as the treasurer is okay with it, but generally speaking, they're very accommodating. That's not a problem as long as, because the lien is with the property, it follows the description of the property. It's not really individual related. It's the banks that kind of force the issue with payoff.
They've done it both ways in my experience in the past, but most of the time they want to pay off.
You're going to repost or misdig it, right?
Yep,
Oh, they'll have
for
to do
sure.
all that.
Yeah, because it's all
We
messed
have
up.
to
It's all
flag it
screwed
on.
up.
No, have to, you know how that goes, because they gotta have it every 21 days and redo it, because people can pull stakes out and stuff like that, so.
I've been there.
They tried to find everything they could out there beforehand, we wanted this to go off as smooth as possible.
So do we.
Can't guarantee that, but we are hoping that we're gonna, I mean, I feel confident.
We got a good company coming in to do the work, and I think this has been really thought about a lot. The DPW's put their thoughts into it too, on locations of things to make it easy for maintenance, so that we can get, you know, they need to be able to get to things like a stop box or something. If you have a leak in your house, they need to be able to shut it off. So we worked with them on locations of these things, and I think we've got a good project here. It's just, we need the easements signed and agreed to before we can carry on.
Well, not tonight, we're not going to sign.
No, well, that's up to you, you know.
Yeah,
Vern
if
said-
people are ready to go to sign, we'll do it tonight, because we have a notary here. If not, they'll have to come back and make an appointment with the clerk. She's a notary, and they can sign.
I'm just now concerned about the easement, because in the profile that I read that we got, it said that you can't, there's so many restrictions around the easements. You can't build on it, you can't obstruct it in any way, and all this stuff.
You can't right
I
now.
totally agree.
Yeah, the only thing you can't do is put a structure on it. You can put a driveway and stuff like that on
The
it.
same easement.
Right.
You have a sewer easement
The sewer easement is right here with the
Right.
commercial line?
Right.
You can't do anything on that.
These two lines are the 20-foot easement. Between these two lines is already there, you can't build on it anyways. So we tried to cram this one into that a little bit and take what we needed just to the outside away from your home, just in case you wanted to put an addition on your home. We didn't want to take it from this side.
Well, I'd rather you take it from that side.
Well, yeah, but there, like I said, that's one,
The
you can't do
Eagle
that.
says no to that for the wetlands, and Eagle says you gotta be a minimum of 10 feet from the sewer line. So
I don't
that's
see
exactly
any
what we're-
wetlands there.
Well,
except for
it's-
some.
I don't either. I see a big
I
old
agree with
brush
you.
and some
There is.
cattails.
Trapped water is what I say too.
Yeah.
but
It's not.
Nobody agrees with me on that, so.
I agree, it should be over here, unless
No,
you're
we-
done
Eagle
interfere.
felt differently.
Our initial proposal to them was the drawing that you saw first, to Eagle.
Eagles,
Eagle is the environmental,
Yeah, you the
help me all that.
Environmental Great Lakes and Energy Department.
Yeah. So they ruled over all this stuff, and they said that we were too close to the wetlands, we couldn't put it there.
Well, if they were gonna build that.
Yeah, it's a new one. There's a couple doors that weren't right or something.
They're
So
gonna
that
do
get
what?
redone.
Houses,
oh,
And they wouldn't let them build because it's
Yeah.
wetland.
yeah, that was years ago, when the sisters owned it.
That's why these property don't have access to back here anyways. They would have to come through your property to tie to it. That's not gonna happen. So, if they build anything, it's gonna be out on the frontage on River Road. And that's probably too small for anybody to do much with.
They won't do anything
So
with it.
when the gas line went down the road, they dug up out here,
Mm-hmm.
and it took 3 years to get the grass to grow in it.
We'll make sure it's less than 3 years.
Yeah, we have a good contractor that was a little bit, so we're pleased with that. That's a good
And
thing.
remember, we're only gonna have certain areas open where we drill and come out, and then,
But you're gonna be open.
yeah, we're gonna,
Open here, you're gonna
Yeah.
open there, you're gonna open there.
yeah, and they're not gonna be really big holes, you know, they'll patch it in and get it seeded for you.
I hope so.
How far off the pavement is that hydrant?
8 feet from the edge of pavement.
Because that's a tight corner, and I
That's
just
the-
wonder, trucks
that's-
going around there or anything.
That's the
Whose property
closest
will
that I
be
could
on?
get to the pavement. I can't get any closer.
We don't want you
We gotta have a problem, we
room.
already
She
have
said
a
if you want
problem
a little
because
farther possibly.
it's a curve there too, you know, it's curved there and, you know, it's already kind of in harm's way sitting where it's sitting. You know,
Well,
it really
that's what
is.
she's addressing, is
Is
maybe
this
back it up a
on
little
our
bit.
property?
What's that?
404?
Maybe back it up a little bit.
Well,
No, that is the-
we still have
honestly, I thought about putting it here,
Mhm.
but then I have to open up the pavement.
So where is this little hydrant gonna be exactly? I mean, I'd
8
like
feet
to
off
know-
the curve of that road and outside of your
Say that
landscaping.
again?
8 feet off the edge of the pavement, but it will be on the outskirts of your
Towards the road.
landscaping.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, you know,
So it's gonna be
here's,
where all the
here's the
cattails are?
road, this edge is the road edge,
Yeah.
and there's your trees and all your shrubs and stuff, and it's gonna be right there. You're not gonna see it from the road, I mean, from your house. It's tucked in close to them shrubs there.
Trusty snowplow man, don't knock it over.
Okay, so,
He's bonded, he's fine, he got insurance.
so this is still, is it, have you been out there? We have all these cattails that grow, or not
Yeah,
cattails
I walk,
exactly.
fragments.
Fragments,
Yeah.
okay. So
I've
it's gonna
walked
be in
that several
there
times,
somewhere?
honestly. I've been out to this property several times over the last year and a half.
I didn't see it.
I know, what the heck, I'm quick, I get in and out and done.
And to be honest with you on this,
Uh,
it'll be staked, and if it's something that needs to be slid a little bit closer to that tree, there's nothing wrong with moving it another 4 or 5 feet or something like that. So
Yeah.
that's an
to get
easy
it- Get it
field,
out, of-
something that can be done in the field.
yeah, field
There
adjustment.
is a Edison pole there
Mhm.
that goes to.
And if we feel that we're too close to that, we can move it a few feet in
That's
any
something that can be
direction,
done if they
really.
move anywhere. That's done
Yeah.
after the main's in.
So how much, have you figured, are you like the money guy? So according to how much the 25,000 is spread over 10 years?
Yes,
So that would be,
$2,500 a year.
so
Added to it.
About,
added to the
it'll
taxes?
be on, I believe it was anticipated it would be a part of the winter,
2,500.
the winter
That's a
tax
lot.
bill. Now
Which
that,
tax
That's the
bills did you
small
call
one,
them?
right?
well, that's the smaller of the two.
Winter.
generally
Yeah,
speaking.
Yeah.
that's what we tried to put on the smaller one. So you have 2 bigger ones.
Yeah.
for tax.
On a related note, just while you're all in this mindset, if you don't have a road maintenance agreement between you, because you're talking about selling, one of the things that we're seeing a lot with mortgage companies is they come back and they encourage people to have road maintenance agreements on private roads.
Sure.
Because it ensures the value of your house is gonna be there and it's gonna be accessible for public service and that. So while you're talking about it, make sure that you have that and you're all in agreement, even if you don't implement it, even if you're informally handling it, having something in writing later on when you go to sell or you go to sell, it will be helpful and
It
less
says that
restrictive.
there's a common easement for the road.
For the road right of way, yeah.
When I bought mine,
Ingress and
I had
egress.
that in-
You have it, good.
Okay.
Good. Just something while we're doing this, make sure, because the more mortgage companies get now, it's a shared drive, so.
Wow.
So I have, did Mr. Smithy submit his questions that he had? He couldn't be here tonight.
I didn't get it.
Because I thought he had some really good questions that I'd
I
like to
think
go
this
over.
is his list here.
I think they were excellent questions.
If we're done with the map, let's go back to the podium.
Okay, can we get a copy of the same color so we can have a more accurate, like we can go home and actually walk the property and see where it's gonna be?
If you hit the sign-in sheet, give me an email
This is
address,
from Rick Smith.
and then they'll forward that to me. So anybody that wants a copy of this, put their email in there, and I'll send a PDF version of this. I'll scan it in, and I'll email it to you. Obviously, you're not gonna get it this big, it'll be whatever, but at least you'll be able to look
Well,
at it
that's
with
like we had
magnifying glass.
before, and they're saying it's not much different. Well, it is a lot
It is a lot
different.
different.
And if we had this before, we probably would have maybe answered some of our own questions.
Is
And
this,
Mhm.
I got this from Rick. I don't know where he got it from.
that looks like it.
That looks
Okay.
like it, yes.
Yeah, I'll definitely make sure I email this to you guys if you need it.
Okay.
But just make sure you sign in with your email.
Okay, and you're gonna restake it so we can know where everything is? or
I'm
you're
gonna talk to my office and
Okay.
see if we can get out there and throw a couple stakes in to give them an idea.
So,
I don't have any.
did you get those questions, or Mr. Smithy didn't drop out questions?
He did not submit questions to me, to the
I
clerk.
got some here, Don.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, the lady gave them to me here.
Those are from Mr. Smithy.
Yeah, let's go over these. I think we just answered about 90% of them, but it shows, please show where the private drive will be. It's going to be in the same place that it is right now. We're going to not touch the private drive. The hydrants, you saw where those are going to be located.
Yep.
Does the cost include water to each house? Yes, it does. How will the transition from existing city water to new city water occur? We discussed that too. It's a 2 to 4 hour, depending. They'll get the lines all ready to go and shut off and quickly connect the new stuff. So the idea is to get it done as quick as possible. It's going to be a coordination of getting the plumber there to get into your house. The rest of it can be hooked up, and then the DPW can turn the new line on. So it could take up to a half a day for that, and that'll be coordinated with you. How much of our land is being given to the city? We're a township, and we're not really taking anywhere. You have an easement for your new water main. As far as property taxes, that's his question, and I'm having a hard time telling him that your house is not worth more because of a new water main, and he's saying it is. So
Who's that?
don't bring it up to him.
Who's that?
Since the city or township is taking percentage of our driveway, we're not taking any of your driveway. Lot 4045 is equivalent to an operating yard drain that passes under the road. It needs to be whole and functional before completion of the project. I don't understand what that question is.
There's a sewer, or a drain.
All right, yard drain?
Stuff that comes alongside the road, going on the east-west side, it's on the, there's a manhole.
Okay, yeah, we're not gonna be near that. We're gonna be up by the sewer.
Yeah,
And then there's another one right between us and Phyllis.
Right. The question is, are we gonna
And I think
break it?
there's
I
another
don't
one.
know. We won't be near it.
Okay.
so you are going to make it functional before completing the project, if you touch it?
I'm sorry. Let's say that again?
It is going to be made functional if you have to do something with it, or no? It's going to
With the
be,
storm sewer, we're not gonna touch it. If they break it, they have to fix it, of course, but, yeah, no, they won't be near that, and if they do have to get on it or something, they break it, they have to fix it. That's just true with anything that's out there. You know, any property damage to existing facilities is on the contractor.
it's on the contractor?
Yeah, they have to fix it. We make them fix it.
Okay, you make them fix it, right?
Oh, yeah. That
Okay,
guy over there does.
Spelled out specifically in the contract.
okay. And then the next question, go ahead.
Loss in trees and shrubs, there won't be any, they'll be replaced if they're disturbed. Future buildings on any property, there's 12-foot additional easement on the 20. I think all of your garages are well away from all that, and of course, like Mr. Meldrum said, by adding it to that street side easement, you can add onto your house the same as you always could, because the easement got no closer to your home.
So if we add on to our detached garage, that's not going to be a problem?
No, because you're on the other side of the easement. There's a 20-foot easement there that you gotta stop at, and that's already there. So,
Okay, Don Team.
Yeah, Don.
049. Okay.
sorry. I get yelled at by those guys if you don't.
I just want to correct my phone number that's on there.
Actually, Sandy has one thing about that. People that are here, that are at the public hearing for that, you have to put your name, address, phone number, and everything on the sign-in sheet for that, so we have it. Can you put it on that before you
Okay.
guys leave?
Just so you know, mine.
So we have everybody's name,
My
address,
phone
phone
number's
number,
wrong on here. so-
everybody's phone,
Okay.
contact number. Yeah, put it all on the sign-in sheet.
Yeah.
She was gonna cover that with you, but,
Yeah, and you're not blasting it to the world.
right. Yeah, we don't want that on TV anyway, Don. We don't want your phone number on TV. You may want it
Not-
on
yeah.
TV. So that answers those. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Pay for it.
We are.
We know it needs to be.
We had to do-
I know you're paying half.
We had to shuffle around a lot of money and kind of do some things to come up with the money, but we're gonna do that because I didn't feel it was right, and neither did anybody on the board, about having to pay more due to the construction costs not coming in at the same price, so.
And this is common in other places in the township? People have paid for their water mains to be replaced?
Yeah, any place that they have a shared line that, like, they're either putting their own line in, and there's a few instances of that where there's two people on one, or they borrow from one, it kind of probably what happened, they teed into it by their house. They have to, we're in the process of doing that now. They have to put a new service in. In any new subdivisions, they have to put all the water mains in at their expense, you know, and then they sell you the house or lot, but, you know, we're not putting any water mains in for anything right now. We're replacing old ones,
Yes.
but, yeah,
So I just wanted to make sure that this was a common thing, that we're not just being singled out because, for whatever reason.
no, it's not real common with us, because this is the only one we've had in a while. I don't know if, I've only been here 3 years, but this is the only one I've seen ever. I've served in other places too, but most of them already have the water mains in. You know, those lots today wouldn't be able to be developed until that was all in front of the houses, water and sewer. You know, township would not issue building permits and splits or anything until it was done.
Right, have to have the road frontage.
Yeah. Anything else that I can answer? Okay.
Real quick, and I know it's for the public, but I just wanted to know, are we gonna have, sorry, forgive me, I don't know your name.
Damon.
The gentleman from PCE.
Oh,
go out to
really?
their houses to.
What's that?
Sometime this week, could we have him go out to their houses to kind of, like, point out where things are?
Yeah, you could send the surveyors out there and put a line stake in, or would you want to put the easement stake in?
I would stake the main and just note how far away the easement edges are from the main,
Mhm.
and you can just tape measure that yourself.
So you'll stake the main,
We'll put one stake on every property, easily visible, center line of water main.
and how far further to the west will the easement be?
It'll be the edge of the water main easement will be 5 feet in both directions from that stake.
Okay, did you get that? It's gonna put a blue stake up, it's a wood stake with a blue ribbon on it, center line of the main, and that's where the main goes, and the easement is 5 feet beyond that to the west. And he'll put the hydrants, a stake in for each hydrant.
Yep.
And that'll give you a general idea. We'll do that this week. Please don't remove them, because if we can move forward quick, we'll leave those stakes there for the contractor. We can go off of those, save us from having to do it twice.
I could possibly have them out late tomorrow or early the next day. Be about the best I could do.
Yeah, we'll do that, just to give you an idea.
That did help.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you, Alan. Board members? No. Were we supposed to have a motion to open up public hearing?
We started at 7:07 PM,
Right, all right.
7:44 PM.
Now, once you see those stakes and stuff, if you can make arrangements with the clerk's office, it'd be best if you can. The easements are here. Anybody that wants to sign them tonight, please do so. She's here to notarize them. If you want to wait till the stakes go and take a look around, by all means, do that, and then make arrangements to come see her, and then we'll...
Clerk, the notary or the other person?
There's me and 2 other people here that are notaries.
Yeah,
Do and make sure somebody.
somebody's
We'll
here,
set-
right,
yeah.
Don. Yeah, there's
Right.
another person here, but certain days she's not, so.
right, so let's make a motion that we opened the public hearing at 7:07, we're gonna close at 7:44 PM.
Okay.
That motion. Okay, we need a
And then,
support.
I'll support.
Blackstock, Babel and Blackstock.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Now, if so be, we can have a motion directing the supervisor to prepare a resolution for the next meeting for this. If we can get these done within the next 10 days for the easements, would be great, and then we can keep this moving forward. I think the closer I get to January, the less I want to be out there doing this. It's not good to bore in freezing weather, because the machine is in freezing weather, so if we could get these within the next 10 days, that would be great, and we can move forward. And like I said, we got a good contractor, I think it'll go pretty smooth. So, motion will be in order directing the supervisor to prepare the resolution for the next meeting.
Yep, and confirm the special assessment role. Right?
I think, yes. The first one I have is the resolution for the next meeting, terms as agreed.
Okay.
So that is a motion. How about that?
I'll support to
I just
prepare
have a
resolution.
question.
Yeah.
When you're excuse my ignorance on this, but when you say signed, like that's the petition you're talking about, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, on the back of that sheet there, this is the role we're doing. This is a resolution. We're gonna, you're directing me to have a resolution ready for the next meeting for the terms as agreed upon. I have a sample of it here too.
Okay.
Resolution regarding special assessment district, assessment role, approving the role, right?
Because the only reason, I mean, I'll say this, like, I understand why some of you are, like, either irritated or, like, you know, like with the amount that it is, but, like, the last time that we voted on this, the majority of the property owners signed the petition, so, I mean, if that happens again, then it kind of ties the hands of the board.
As long as we get, you know, everybody that's in agreement, for the most part, the people that were last word, I think it was 3 or 4 of them, but we can move forward. We just would like to get this as clean as possible as far as, we can pass the resolution, but the easements being signed is going to hold up the job. So
What's that?
the easements not being signed will hold up the job.
Right, if
Right.
people don't sign,
Right.
correct? Yeah. But I mean, the only way that it's gonna come back to the board is if it's signed, correct?
Right, right.
Okay,
Yeah, and as long as everything's prepared ahead of time, we got to do this right at this meeting to do it.
yeah.
Did Smithy sign his already or no?
I'm not sure, I
We
don't
had some
have that in
signed,
front of
again, let's
me.
not get that confused. We did get some signed, but there was a couple words that we had to change in the easement. It didn't really affect you. So we do have new ones that need to be signed. So if you signed before, I'm really sorry. We have to have you sign again.
But he's just not here, so I wanted to tell him he's got 10 days.
Yes, if you could, please, because we had a couple words that the attorney didn't like, and the assessor was not blessing that. We had to get it done right. So we had to reword them a little bit. Please re-sign, okay?
Could we get a copy to show someone else to see what they think of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing, except for a couple words here. If you, I don't know what I have here. We can give you each one for your house at the end of the meeting, if that's okay with you. We'll go through them, and so you can take one of the copies with you. At least we have 2 still. Well, there's gonna be 3 total when you do sign. 1 for you. All right, so,
So we have a motion and a second to prepare the resolution for the next meeting,
right, it's been moved and supported.
to accept the role.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
What do you got over there? You said something too.
That was it.
Do we need to do the one motion for the resolution on the certifying the role at this point, Cindy, or not? I don't think it was required, was it? Jamie?
The certification is gonna come through the board. The role as it was presented, you asked me to create a role. I created a role based on the discussion from our last meeting, based on $152,000. And that was spread and available for the public. So I've never had a supervisor or mayor certify one with a stamp or a signature per se. But if you want to go through that formality, we could, but it's not necessary. You're reacting to the documents that are part of the public record. And your resolution is going to be what's going to authorize this.
This over here.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we don't need to,
Stamping that or signing your name to it, no.
we don't need to have the board approve this?
No, as long as that's the copy that goes to the treasurer after it's all done, yeah.
Okay,
I would like to add some verbiage to that motion before we
that one's
approve.
already done, we can do a new one.
Should we-
What do you got?
Okay, well, we were going to state for the minutes that whereas the estimated costs of said improvements are estimated not to exceed $272,000, and given the township board will participate to offset costs as township share in the amount not to exceed $120,000. The remaining amount of $152,026 shall be spread as equal benefits between the 6 properties.
We approved that at the last meeting.
So it was, but I'm just going to add that into the minutes, just
Okay,
for
gotcha.
reference.
I understand.
Just confirming everything we've talked about.
Right.
Okay?
What about this? Winter taxes? I guess it depends on the job's done, right?
Wouldn't that be in the terms of the resolution
Yeah.
for the next meeting?
Okay. You're right. We're just determining when we start the roll, we start putting it on the bill, so.
Probably.
Any questions or comments over there from Jamie? Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Moving on. New business to set 2025 budget workshop date. You have that in front of you somewhere. It'll be November 4th, 2024 at 7 o'clock. And I'd like to,
During the regular.
is that a regular board meeting?
Yes,
Yeah.
both of those are.
You want to do the workshop before the meeting?
Normally, that's what we do.
Yeah. 6 o'clock for that? Is that okay with everybody? You're looking at me.
You realize that's the night before the election, right?
Yeah, the November 4th isn't a nice
We're not
day.
doing anything. You can have it cleaned up by then. If you don't have it done by 6 o'clock, you won't have it done by 7. I'm sorry, Sandy. Okay, so the budget workshop, November 4th, work session, 6 o'clock, November 4th. And then a budget public hearing for November 18th at 7. The motion to approve that is presented.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Richley. Is there support?
I'll support.
Ms. Babel, 2025 budget workshop work session is November 4th, 2024 at 6. Budget public hearing, November 18th at 7. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Election day business office closure. Due to the requirements of the general election, Township Hall conducting regular business on November 5th. The hall will be open for voting and election details only. No other staff will be present. Just, is that an announcement more than,
It's a motion.
okay.
I'll make that a motion.
Is there support? Support. All those in favor say aye.
I just got a question though.
No.
How do you handle the union employees' wage that day? Do they have to take vacation time or?
I
Is
think
it
you
just-
can into internally, so we're not in violation of the contract. I think it's gonna be,
Because that came
something worked
up
out
one other
vacation day or
time,
something.
so.
Yeah, it's been worked out with them.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, we don't have an issue, I know.
Mhm.
4, approval of final obligation of ARPA funds. We have to have them obligated. We have about $77,000, as you see in the attached sheet here, which we are going to have the columbarium installation completed before the end of the year. We're estimating that about $12,000, and the remaining ARPA funds are proposed to be spent for the 2025 local road system, local road funding assistance program. It's for the Recore Road sewer next year. Remember, we approved that here a meeting or two ago? So we're gonna take the balance and put it towards that to help us pay for that and have a little bit less than a $100,000 line item on the budget for this year. So that allocates and obligates all of the ARPA funds according to the act, and it's done before the deadline. Motion to approve that is presented. Mr. Blackstock, is there support?
Support.
Mr. Abel, comments or questions? All, well, we better do it in a roll call.
Roll call vote, Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes, thank you. New business 5 is the 2025 meeting dates and office closures as you see here. And we're setting the meetings for next year. Anybody see a problem with any of those dates? Get a chance to look at them?
Just the February 17th, we're having a meeting when the office is normally closed, unlike the other one where we moved it. See how it's
What's the holiday?
the 17th?
Is what?
Well, that's
Columbus
irrelevant.
Day
That's
or
we open the building for the meeting anyway.
That's why I was just wondering, because we moved the other one.
I think
so.
we were here, weren't we here
Their,
President's Day
their
this
day is a
year?
holiday the day after, but ours is not. The board is not on a holiday the day.
I'm fine with having it on the Monday, but
Yeah, I am too.
It's President's Day.
Yeah, everybody okay with that? All right, if so, entertain a motion to approve the meeting dates for next year as presented.
so move.
Is there support?
Support.
Stable? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. New business 6 added from consent to 2024 DMA dues for SEMCOG.
The question that I have is, why, this might have been done other times before, I just don't remember, but why was this billed to the Water and Sewer Authority? Like,
We get miscellaneous grants and SEMCOG does a lot of advice for those people over there and myself. And a lot of times it's for the water and sewer plants or distribution systems
Okay.
or for them. So we want to spread the cost out amongst those as well because China's involved in that and they'll pay a little
Okay.
portion of it too. But
okay,
we want to spread it out where we think it's fair.
okay.
Is all.
And this is around the time, this is the renewal?
Right.
Okay,
Dues.
all right.
Okay.
I probably, this time I will not object to it, but next time I think I'm gonna have some more questions.
So I'll be pleased to forward their annual report for the DMA. This is the designated management agency that's required by the Clean Water Act. And we
Right.
are a partner to that under SEMCOG as the umbrella.
Okay, okay.
Did that answer your next question?
No, I didn't have any other questions.
But I can
All right,
forward,
well, I'll look
I can
forward to
forward the
that.
annual report. It was 16 pages, unless you always want those. I didn't think it was important for consent, but.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the DMA dues 2024? Mr. Blackstock, is there support?
Support.
Ms. Hart? Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Hart?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Blackstock?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Okay, announcements. We have our Director of Public Services here who'd like to give an update on the construction project that's out there right now. Trying to get things cleaned up, punch list items done. This is our, Dwayne Loper is our Director of Public Services. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. Just a few project updates on all of the DW and CWSRF projects. The North Water Main and valve replacement. All the water main has been installed. DVM will be connecting ties at Record, Putty Gut, and the jumper at the hospital in Chamberlain. DVM is currently installing hydrants on the 12-inch main, removing them from the old 10-inch. All service lines have been transferred from the 12-inch to the 10-inch, and we're working on getting our customers now connected. Once complete, the line will be disinfected, connected, and then connected to those customers. And cleanup in the cul-de-sac, I've been told, has started today. I see residents, if they have any questions or concerns, I'd be happy to talk to you after the meeting.
On Chamberlain, they started the cleanup?
That's what I was told.
Yeah, they got till Friday to have it cleaned up till they're gone.
On the south water main valve replacement, performed by T.R. Piper's Act, the work is substantially complete except for restorations, which has been a topic frequently visited throughout our business day with residents having many concerns about the status of the restoration of their yards. We are working with them on a case-by-case basis, and PCE is working with the contractor to make sure that our customers' yards are returned to the same state they were before the project started. We have the master meter project that is going to monitor the flow between China and East China. That project is almost complete. One of the flow sensors was a unidirectional sensor, so it couldn't measure flow backwards. That was a requirement of the project, so we have a new sensor in hand today. That project should be up by the end of the week, and we will be issuing final payments for that soon. The lift station or the sewer pump station rehabs, we have had some technical issues at the hospital and Bree Road lift stations, so PCE is working with the vendors of the pumps and their controls to diagnose the problems and then mitigate those issues. The final project under the Clean Water Revolving Fund is the sewer lining and manhole repairs. The sewer linings are complete. The manholes have been rehabilitated except for one. Manhole number 49 has some, as I understand, needed some further site evaluations. There's a 20-foot peat layer that holds a lot of water, which makes that ground unstable. So NTH, a civil engineering contractor, has done some additional site borings. We have to rescope the project. It's going to take a little bit more. Yes. And that is it for the current projects. Anybody have any questions, concerns about the projects that are underway?
The only thing that, and this might be a thing for Vern, but the exact date of when that stuff's gonna be out of this and Chamberlain Street?
Friday.
Friday? Okay,
Been done, handled.
okay,
They've got a lot of it already cleaned.
okay.
Anything else?
Okay. Thank
Thank
you all
you.
again. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay, member comments? Mr. Richley?
Dwayne covered two of my things, so, but do we have a number for the gas company for residents on the north end of the township? There's a lot of issues that, like they were promised gravel or something from the gas company, is that?
I would call the Semco number on their bill.
Okay.
They're pretty responsive with that. They're not like getting lost in La La Land like I did with Xfinity last weekend.
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Oh, you got off easy.
And then, are there any updates on the River Road property where that hole was dug? Like, has work started with that?
River Road property with the hole dug.
I don't want to say the person's name, but the person across from Dairy Queen where they dug the hole and,
That's been completed.
okay, good. And then, on the park budget, I just wanted to update everybody. The park commission worked at the last commission meeting on their budget and approved it. There's some things that might have to be kinked out and stuff like that, but there was a concern that was brought up by one of the commissioners that I just wanted to bring it up here, that they're concerned that there's no recreation activities going on, and they just want to see more things done, and if the township can, since we're kind of taking charge of that.
We talked about this at a board meeting a while ago. We tried, and I thought I printed that out, but I didn't. We tried to do summer rec. We had nobody apply for anything for the positions. We had one person apply for the director of it, but no helpers, and we had nobody sign up for it. Trunk or treat, we were gonna try to gain the issue. Nobody signed up to be a vendor, and we had. I think what it is we're in between two cities that do a lot of that, and I don't think that the township, since we haven't been doing that since COVID, that they're looking at those places to do that. So what we decided, and I think I talked about it at the board level, is we're going to concentrate more on the parks and what they do want in our parks and put the money towards that. So that's what we've been doing this year, and we plan to do that again in the budget for next year. we're gonna take the 25,000 that we had for that, and we're gonna move it over for more improvements at the park that people are using.
Yeah, it's just,
It's unfortunate that, you know, we did a few other little things. The cookie thing here was great the first time, second time nobody signed up for it. I think one person, you know?
Yeah.
You're battling with everybody else. Everybody else does trunk or treat. Everybody else does all this stuff, and how many of them can you go to?
Right.
So
The only, I mean, I brought it up because it was a concern, and I think they all kind of agreed on that, but I think, I get it. I get that we haven't done anything in probably 5 years, but, or.
Yeah, with COVID and everything.
Yeah, but I think there are a lot of people, there's a lot of younger people in the township that they have kids and stuff like that, and they're bringing it up.
They need to sign up.
Well, right, but part of the issue too is nobody visits our website.
Yeah.
If there's another way we can.
We start putting everything on the sign. They
Yeah.
had a pretty good turnout at the picnic, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, we're gonna continue to look at that, but
Yeah.
I think our push right now is gonna be give the people what they're wanting, and that's more stuff in the park right now, seems
Yeah.
to be,
I have a question.
so.
Is there ever going to be sports at the park again? Different
Sports?
sports teams, and why is that quit? Why?
There's nobody
doing that?
playing softball or anything anymore around that I see. I don't know why they
I
stopped
know
it.
Cotterville Park has gotten.
They've moved
quite
to
a
some
few,
other ones, and
yeah.
I'll be honest with you, there's some better facilities out there, you know, that, you know, they've
They
got
were
nice
in
dugouts and
China.
everything else. I mean, we could spend a couple hundred if I guess we wanted them back, but we have 4 ball fields over there and nobody uses any of them. And they
I think
haven't
part
in a
of
while.
it's the cost.
Why is that?
I think part of it's the cost,
Yeah.
from what I've been told.
okay.
Yeah.
A lot of less people doing it too. Yeah, there's very few people doing it.
reasons why they moved.
Okay.
We can discuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just one more thing, since there's a bunch of people here, hopefully some people watching on TV, but the school district is proposing a 2.75 millage increase in taxes, so, just so that people know, it's on the November ballot, it's gonna be an additional $400 per household on average, so, just so that people are aware.
Yeah, I believe we have a presentation at the next meeting that they requested to be on the agenda for that, so. Okay, Nicole?
I just handed out the letter and the supporting documents, but I just I was not totally, disappointed with the action that happened from the last meeting regarding, the parks manager job description that was supposed to be cleared up, but there were some things that were said that just were not true. And I wanted you all to know that, that's why I gave you the supporting documents. We had, just to sum it up, we had discussions, in the past, trying to figure out, how to give the parks manager, what was promised by the Parks Commission. She was promised vacation time that she was not able to take, and it was supposed to be a one-time only bonus. And there was discussion regarding that, and in the emails, which you have there, to quote, it said, it was never to be more than a one-time thing to clear up another mess that the Parks Commission created this. And the supervisor said, I will work with Cindy to modify the job description and remove the retention bonus clause. And when it came up in the last meeting, it was like everybody totally forgot about what the whole discussion was, and I just didn't appreciate, I guess, being lied to or gaslit. And that's all.
Okay, thank you. Good.
All set?
Nothing, thank you.
Not, I'd entertain motion to approve.
Just a moment. Did you say there was another date where you're going to have a meeting about our?
I'm sorry.
Special assessment
Is
district.
there another assessment meeting about?
No, this was the public hearing.
That was it. So
Right,
we're not
right,
gonna have any
right,
more.
right.
Okay.
The resolution will be at the next meeting.
Yeah, we'll have that at the next meeting to approve what we have proposed tonight, as long as everybody's okay with it, and we get what we need back, so. And you got questions, give me a call, but they're gonna stake it. If you wanna take a look at it, be happy to answer your call for you, okay? Come out and take a look for you. All right?
I'd like to, yeah.
All right.
If I want to say one more thing, I took my grandson to the park about a couple weeks ago. He loved it. So everything that you put in recently, it was wonderful.
Yeah, we wanna continue to try to
Yes.
invest more with
Big
it.
improvements, and I'm really pleased with it.
We wanna get the people back using it like they used to.
Right.
Okay, if not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.